Hi, I'm Scott Ryan. Well, it's crunch time. It's the day of the Iowa caucuses, and the talking heads, the so-called conservative pundits on Fox News, have been working overtime championing the cause of Mitt Romney. I just heard Laura Ingraham last night singing his praises and talking about him as though he is the only one who can beat Obama. And her evidence is how the Obama campaign is already gearing up for a Mitt Romney candidacy. So here we are again. After the past couple decades, after Ronald Reagan, Republicans have fallen for the pseudo-conservatives who compromise our fundamental values, and we've been told that they're the only ones who can win, so we've got to vote for them. And they're expecting us to fall in line. The very thing that got us into this debacle, this economic collapse that is pending, it's as though we haven't learned a thing. It's a cult of personality. That's what it's been for the past 2 decades, and that's what it is now. And it's really embarrassing because we always have accused the left of voting for their person, their nominee, or their pick, regardless of the facts or the fundamentals that that person brings to the table. We talk about them as though they are gullible sheep. Yet we've got this man who has been duplicitous his entire career, his entire political career. He has been on every side of every issue. He has been vehemently pro-abortion. Not just that, he has bragged about how pro-abortion he has been in his candidacies when he ran against liberals in Massachusetts. I noticed that this campaign, as opposed to the last presidential campaign, Mitt Romney hasn't even mentioned the name of Ronald Reagan because he's been called upon his duplicity. Last presidential campaign, I think he set a record, an all-time record of how many times he could name drop Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan in every single campaign appearance, every single debate in the 2004 election, or the 2008 election, every single debate, he dropped the name of Ronald Reagan and tried to compare himself. And then it was during that time that he was exposed for the fact that when he was running for governor in Massachusetts, he was denouncing Ronald Reagan in the debates. This guy is the author of Obamacare. And that is why the Democrats have been silent on attacking Mitt Romney. That is why they're acting like they expect him and as though they're preparing for some formidable candidate. It's exactly the opposite. The reason why they've been silent on their attacks against Mitt Romney is because they want Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney will successfully inoculate Obama against the most egregious legislative bill in history, his Obamacare bill. What can Mitt Romney do to expose Obama, the liberal propensities of Barack Obama? How can he attack Obama's plan in a debate with any credibility when the plan was based upon his plan? Don't tell me that, well, the states are the microcosm of the nation, or the states are the laboratory of democracy, and if it doesn't work in the state, then I wouldn't want it applied on a nationwide level. Well, if he has the philosophical belief that those mandates have any place in government, then we've got a problem. This is no conservative. He has shown it. His entire record is nothing but a legacy-building campaign. And I'm embarrassed for these pundits. In fact, it's time that we get some new pundits, because I am sickened by the stumping that these people are doing on his behalf. The pundits are telling us that Mitt Romney is polling quite well in Iowa. I have more faith in the people of Iowa. I don't believe that they're going to drink the Romulan ale. I think that they're going to look at his record, how detestable it is, and they're going to make the right decision. I think Santorum rising in the polls is a good thing, and I hope that cooler heads prevail and that Santorum, or Gingrich for that matter, win Iowa. But they're doing everything that they can to manipulate those polls by repeatedly telling us that Mitt Romney may win Iowa. And another thing, we've seen enough passionate politicians. The guy comes off like a game show host. Yes, he's passionate. Yes, he has wonderful salt and pepper hair. Yes, he has a sonorous voice. But the only thing that we have to go on is his record and his philosophies, his beliefs. And there is nothing that points to any reason that a sensible person could expect him, Mitt Romney, to do the things that he is promising to do. Although he's not promising a lot, he's just playing the part of the conservative. But if we look at his track record, how passionately he argued for abortion, and then how passionately he argued against it, how passionately he denounced Ronald Reagan, and then how passionately he tried to link himself to Ronald Reagan years later, there is no way that we can know which time he really was being sincere. So if we look at his track record, there's no reason why any intelligent person should expect anything but more compromise and duplicity from Mitt Romney. If we look at what his beliefs are, now I know there might be some people on the Christian right who are falling for this guy and thinking about voting for him because he cleverly, in Mormonism, they use rhetoric that makes it look like they believe as we do, Christians. Nothing could be further from the truth. Yes, he'll say that he believes that Jesus Christ is the Savior of this world, that he's the Son of God. But what he omits is that he believes that Mormons are also the sons of God, just like Jesus, no different, and Lucifer. He believes that Jesus came to earth, he was a man as a result of a sexual relationship. No, they deny the virgin birth, and he believes that Jesus became God. He believes that God the Father also was a man, a result of sexual intercourse, and he became God. And he believes, as Mormons teach, that if Mormons are good enough, they too will become gods of their own planets, just as Jesus and God the Father are gods of this planet. They believe in infinite universes and infinite gods. That is very different than what we believe. And I believe the beliefs, don't tell me, hey, fine, freedom of religion. I agree with that. But that doesn't mean that we need to overlook what people believe. They have asylum, believe what you want. But that doesn't mean that I have an obligation to support you for president, to put you in that position of power. You might say, well, come on, Scott, what damage is he going to do? Well, there are some fundamental issues there. I'm not going to vote for somebody who believes that they're going to become a god. You talk about a god complex. Just as words have meanings, beliefs have meaning. What you believe, your existence on this planet affects your worldview, and your worldview affects every decision you make, especially important ones that cannot be minimized. These are things that we must take into consideration. I hope that Iowa caucus participants do the right thing, or else God help us. Because if Mitt Romney wins this nomination, the only thing that's guaranteed is there will be a schism in the Republican Party, and there will be a third party, a credible third party. A vote for Mitt Romney is a guarantee of that. Thank you for joining me. I'm Scott Ryan.